Okay, y'all are military wives.
Yes.
Everything's gonna break when your husbands are deployed.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Adventures from the Homefront. I'm Olivia, this is Kate, and we have Amanda down there on the end, and we have a lovely guest star today. This is Allison. She is a real estate agent down in basically coastal Virginia. We're going to post all of her links below. So today we did want to do a little bit of a real estate episode talking about buying, renting, everything that has to do with being in the military and trying to find the home of your dreams. So I did want to ask, because we are eventually going to move to our next duty station and we're going to be there for probably about 2-ish years, what would be the benefits of renting or purchasing when we do down there?
It depends where you're going, but I do have an awesome resource for you. So if you go to realtor.com, R-E-A-L-T-O-R, they have a rent or buy calculator. And so you can look based on, you know, what area, what the average sales price is, or where you would want to buy, like a house that, you know, you would want to move into.
Yeah.
Look on Zillow or something and just say, you know, maybe it's $250. You put in, or $250,000, sorry. Maybe it's $250,000.
Yeah.
You can put it, I think it automatically puts in interest rate, it automatically puts in
That's awesome.
all of these different things, and then you just put the area and how many years you're expected to be there, and it will say, based on all the data that is in that database, it makes more sense for you to rent if you're there for less than X amount of years and buy if you're there for X amount of years or more. Awesome. Because it takes into consideration the tax benefit of, you know, your tax deduction if you own. It takes into consideration growth in that area over the past year or two and things like that. And so it's something that is a great resource to know, like, is it worth it for me to buy? And also, if you're a person that's cool with being a landlord or having a property manager wherever you are, you know, it can't hurt to buy unless it's in a place that, like, is going downhill, right? Like if values are going down for whatever reason, or if they're projected to go down. So like right now in a lot of places where the market has just been like skyrocketing, like at some point that will come back down. You know? There's always kind of waves. And I don't think we'll ever have like a crash like we did before, like in 2008. But, you know, there's ebbs and flows, and sometimes you get bit and you're on the wrong side of that and you have to rent it for way longer than you want to. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's just one of those like cost benefit analyses that you have to do. And so that rent versus buy calculator is really helpful, but it's not foolproof, you know? So it really comes down to like, if you think you'll ever go back there, like if you think, you know, like here in Norfolk, a lot of people end up coming back again in 5 years or whatever. And so if you love that house and want to hold on to it forever, hold on to it. You know?
If you're looking like we're going to keep the one that we have until like whenever the mortgage is paid off, and then we'll sell it and then take the money, and now we have the money to retire at, like buy a house. Because
like
the way of
downsize.
The way that we think about it is that with renting, and this is just our philosophy, I'm not telling anybody what to do here, but in our heads, it's like with renting, you're automatically losing money because the money is not going anywhere. You're paying somebody else's mortgage or rent for that property. Whereas when you buy, yes, you may get nothing back, but at least the property was yours. So it went to something that you rightfully owned, you paid your taxes on, and everything else.
Yeah, so when you're renting, you're losing the like savings account almost that is like the equity in your mortgage. So the way that mortgages work is there's 4 primary things that are in a mortgage. There's the principal, interest, taxes, insurance. Taxes, insurance, and interest are all money that is going away, just like rent. But then the principal is essentially a savings account, which over time builds and builds and builds, and then that is your equity that you end up getting back over time after you pay the 10% that you know it costs to sell then
Which, by the
you're
way,
getting that money back.
Yes, by the way, if you make one extra mortgage payment a year, principal only, it takes off like 5 years of your mortgage.
That's awesome.
One extra. So every tax
So you get your tax return in,
So
and
we
then
get our
just-
tax return and then we put it into our home, because then like a 30-year mortgage will turn into like a 15 or 17-year mortgage.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So when we
So proud of her.
she's taught me so much.
Yes.
So it was funny because when we signed for our our house, we bought our house for $225. The ending amount was like $430. It was literally double our home. So if we paid our mortgage for every single month of
Perfectly.
30 years,
Perfectly.
we would pay double our home.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like student loans. That was
Yeah.
the advice I got from my financial aid counselor
Yep.
when I got my student loan. She's like, if you put $20 extra every week at the end of the week, your loans will be like paid off in no time, because it's the principal
Yeah.
amount. You're
Absolutely.
not paying the extra interest only.
Over all
and
that
then,
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that $20 doesn't get that whatever percent interest on it then.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yep.
Well,
So-
yeah. So
Always
interest-
pay more
Yes.
than your minimum payment.
Yes.
And that helps. Like if
Yeah.
you are going to sell your home in 4 years or something like that, then you have more money that you accumulate to kind of like.
You already have, what,
Yeah.
20 years back? Something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Good job.
Thank you, Allison.
We all need an Alice in our lives.
I know, like I'm so proud. I'm like, good job. Good job.
I know, it's funny because like when I'm doing my taxes, I'm like, ring, 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 Allison. She's like, hey girl, when are we gonna go get coffee? I'm like, soon, but I'm at H&R Block right now and I need to know what to do.
I think I had an answer, right?
You did, you did. You're
Look at
like,
me.
oh, they sold your mortgage and now you have to go through such and such. And I'm like, oh, wonderful. Great.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah.
Yes.
Good times.
Good times.
Okay, what else? What else we got, girls?
What else you got over there, Miss
I have
Note
a whole
Sheet?
new-
We got to
notebook.
talk about the Zillow thing.
Okay. You go.
Amanda's like, I don't want to do the intro, but I'm just going to talk the whole time.
She actually is Alison McPherson. So
Posing over here. But the Zillow thing, so when we bought, remember how like I found all these like houses that I was so in love with, and then you're like, under contract, under contract, under contract, under contract. It's because of the thing, like you gotta hook up with a realtor and get the thing, what's it called?
the multiple listing service.
Yes.
Yes. So the multiple listing service. The multiple listing service is where Zillow gets all of its information. However, Zillow doesn't necessarily update as quickly as the multiple listing service. So, well, okay, so let me go on to my little caveat. Zillow, get it, girl, let it.
Let's go.
So Zillow sells leads to real estate agents. That is the primary reason Zillow exists. That's how they make their money. That is how they stay alive. So real estate agents pay Zillow to give them leads off of the website. So you'll see, like when you're searching on Zillow, you'll see a bunch of featured agents on the side. All of those people aren't necessarily the listing agent. Those people are the people who are paying Zillow the most money.
Yeah.
All of that being said, is Zillow doesn't really have an incentive to update the information as much as possible so that, you know, buyers and sellers and everybody is as informed as they can be. Because really hot properties give their agents, who are paying them a lot of money, a lot of leads.
Because they're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath
Right.
house. You have this many 3-bedroom, 2-bath house here. Type of thing. Yeah.
Well, and like if there's a house that like is all updated, is beautiful, is getting the most clicks, you know, everyone's spending a lot of time going through the pictures, all of that.
123 hearts.
Right. Like Zillow has no incentive to turn that to pending, because then they're not able to sell as many leads to the agents who are paying them the most money. So it's a lead generation tool for real estate agents, but then also
It's
they're
a web
trying
of
to
lies for people like us.
it's not good.
Look, I want this dream house. I want it so bad. It's got the countertops.
It's already
Yes.
and the
pending.
wood floors.
Yes.
It's already
Yes.
pending. But
It's like Elf when he's it's like you're like a web of lies. Like, I feel like that's what Zillow is.
Well, and like Zillow is not all bad. However, because it is really pretty and easy to look at, like it's prettier than the multiple listing service.
The app is
understand
amazing.
that.
I feel like it's best
Yeah.
for renters, almost in a sense. Like, because like rental properties may have like 20 that they can sell of something like this, whereas when you're buying a house, there's only one. So it comes and goes like really fast.
Right, right. And so for Zillow, it's one of those things that, you know, they're just trying to sell their leads. And then they're trying to take real estate agents completely out of the equation by like creating lock boxes that anybody can open and you can just buy a house online. But I don't think that is ever going to be the answer for people.
At all.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
scare
It's not
me.
personalized.
It doesn't, well, and like, okay, I totally understand buying things off of Amazon.com.
Yeah.
But like for a house, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a
You
lot
know.
of money to invest in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can also show you like, you know, the real pretty pictures.
Oh yeah,
in
they
the
pay
house.
high-priced photographers
Exactly.
and everything.
And then you go in and there could be like mold or, you know, certain things breaking
Yeah.
in the house. Like you don't know what you're gonna get.
yeah, and you don't always understand everything. Like when we bought our house, remember like my house had like that weird piping and stuff. It's like if I would have just seen it on a piece of paper, I wouldn't know what that is. Like
Right.
what like a realtor is able to like they understand homes and they're able to break down like okay, this is what's wrong with it. Okay, yeah, whatever. No.
It's the
not,
difference
yeah,
between a,
whatever.
like,
It's like,
$20,000
this is going
job
to,
and
yes.
DIY
This is not
yourself.
like you go to Lowe's and you get your handy husband to fix it. This is like,
And you don't want to be spending a fortune just on repairs alone.
Yeah.
right,
So,
Right.
exactly. And then
Right.
they can
Especially
tell you,
because
yeah.
like, okay, y'all are military wives.
Yes.
Everything's gonna break when your husbands are divorced.
Amen.
That's assuming though
Everything.
your husband fixes things. Handy woman in my house.
Yes, good. Well, yeah, because it's one of those things, you know, like it's
It's
always
true.
gonna break when
It's
there's
always
gonna
gonna
break.
break. Yeah, when they're on duty, something always happens. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I had to, you know, put through this. He goes, why? I'm like, well, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like military wives are like some independent women. They can get some ish done, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it will always break when they're
Oh,
gone.
absolutely.
And you're gonna have a meltdown because you're just emotional and you just can't deal with this, even if you could fix it yourself.
Yeah.
I remember being 8 months pregnant and my husband was on underway and it was the middle of June and our AC unit broke.
Yeah.
And this is
And you're
all
like,
Charleston or is this here?
That was here.
Here? Oh my god.
I was a very, very angry woman.
That's when you gotta like call like the base or whatever. So when Ryan went to Bahrain for a year, our washing machine broke and flooded our entire basement, and I literally got on the site and I was like, free pizza to whoever's husbands want to come over here and fix this crap. And sure enough, there were like 3 Coast Guard guys that came over and like fixed it, and I was like, whoa!
I'll get you some beer too.
Yes. Yes.
Good job.
So, get on those Facebook pages, ladies. Make friends.
Or get a power drill.
Yeah.
You have 2 options there. And a YouTube
Oh my
video.
God, that's
Seriously,
so funny.
YouTube, you can fix anything.
Everything. I've put headlights in cars, taken off
Holy
wire harness.
cow.
Oh my gosh, I've done
Oh
a
my
lot.
God.
Go.
My dad's
Wow.
a mechanic.
I'm like, I don't
Nice.
touch cars.
I grew up in the shop.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Pretty
that's
face,
good to
no.
know. Good to know.
Get my hands dirty.
That's so cool.
What did you have like? What were the myths? So we talked about myths earlier.
Yes.
Before that,
Okay, so for VA loans, there are some very specific things that are VA loan related that are different than anything else. So
Yeah.
like any other conventional loan, all of that jazz. So one of the big things that a lot of people don't know about VA loans is that you can have more than one VA loan out at one time. However, it just needs to fit into a certain into the eligibility that you have. So
I was going to ask you about that because yeah.
So when you guys were selling your house in Boston, I said, how much VA eligibility do you have left?
And I had like no clue what she was talking about. It might have been hormones, it might have been wine, it might have just been mayhem for moving, but I was
Yeah.
just like, whoa, I don't have no idea.
So everybody has like a certificate of eligibility for whatever VA benefits that you have for serving in the military. So I don't remember what the form is called, but there's a certificate of eligibility that says you have X amount of dollars of eligibility. So in that, you can potentially fit 2 houses if they're pretty
inexpensive
houses. If you're in your second house, has to exceed the first loan amount. So like if you start off
That's
with
where she lost me. I got you,
$300,000. $300,000, for example, worth of eligibility.
right. Let's go to let's say it's 450,000. Because I think it's closer to that. It's like 456 or 459 something, but I can't remember.
And
now.
your first house is 200.
So yeah. So
your second house has to exceed 200?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you can have 2 loans out at one time if everything fits into that eligibility.
Under.
Right. If it fits under that. A lot of people think you can only have 1 out at a time. But a lot of times that's because people buy a more expensive house the first time around. And so if you're buying a $300,000 house, you can't use that remaining eligibility because that is less than the first loan. Does that make sense? So yours was like 400,000 or something in
our total thing. Even though
Right.
we bought our house for like $225.
No. In Boston.
Oh, yes.
So in Boston,
Yes.
you were selling a house that was like 400 something.
Yeah.
And so what we had to do was sell that house to restore the VA eligibility back in. And so that's why those days are really important because once you close, it gets recorded. Then once it gets recorded, it goes to the VA. And so then they restore your eligibility and then you can buy the new house because you only have so much eligibility to work with. And so that's kind of how that works. So you can have 2 loans at once through the VA, but you kind of have to fit in like 2 separate little boxes. So some people use that first loan to buy like a cheap house that they rent out.
Like 1 bedroom, something.
Yeah, like a
small.
townhouse, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, something like that. And then at their next duty station, they can buy something bigger that's more a single family home, something like that. And then essentially you have 2 properties, one that is an investment and one that is your primary residence.
And I feel like those condos like really make some money. Like we know people in Hawaii that had condos. They bought it for like 300 grand, and then when they moved in 3 years, they sold it for like almost 500.
Yeah, it just depends where you are and how much things are growing.
Really, sometimes those condos, because like they, keep things like really nice in those like little areas. So.
And they're cute, and everyone wants a cute little home right now. Nobody wants these big homes.
Yeah, and especially starter families that, it's just 2 people, and I think that they're a great
You don't have to do yard work.
Yeah, exactly.
So nice.
Exactly.
So we kind of talked about selling a property reestablishes that eligibility and that entitlement. And then, so sometimes people think too, for VA loans, the fact that you are a veteran or active duty, that you automatically qualify for a loan. But if you have like bad credit, if you have lots of debts, like with your debt to income ratio is very off, it's not just like a free pass to buy a house. Like you still have to fit into certain eligibility
Like meet
things.
the requirements,
Right. But some people are like, oh, but I have a VA loan, and it's like, no, but you can't have like horrible
But you also
credit.
have $100,000 in debt.
Right.
So like.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to lend you money. I'm sorry.
Not even the VA, and that's bad.
Right. But that's okay. But it is something that some people are like, oh, I have a VA loan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Be aware of that.
But you still have to get like pre-qualified and stuff before you go see houses. And then one other myth about VA financing is all of your closing costs are waived. I love how you just laugh so hard at that.
I'm just gonna sit over here and doodle.
Yeah. Or that you can't pay closing costs. Like sometimes people think like, oh, I have a VA loan so I cannot pay any closing costs, and that's simply not true. It is a negotiable item with the seller. And sometimes, like in our area, it's pretty common for some closing costs to be paid by the seller for you, which is great, but not all the time. And if it's a really hot property, if you don't have cash, you're not getting that, because they're gonna not be paying closing costs if it's multiple offers. So
And in a hot property like that, you are like on your knees to the seller, because I remember our seller was like, if even one thing goes wrong, we're backing out of this thing. And I remember calling her and being like, because I talked to the guy from Veterans United. I'm probably gonna get sued after this. And he was like, oops. Like, that's what he said. And I was just like, you knew what was happening, because we had this entire discussion was, hey, if we take a portion of it and pay off my student loan, because then we're knocking out a $200 a month,
Debt.
debt, because if you don't put down enough, it's not going to change anything. So that's what people think too, is that, oh, I have $12,000, I'll just put it down on the house. And it's like, in theory, that sounds great, but it really doesn't change your interest. It really doesn't change your monthly payment.
It's substantial
So
amount.
just keep, like, what other debt do you have that you can get rid of those monthly payments if it's not going to affect your mortgage, really? So that's what we kind of opted to do. Like, I wanted to pay off a $7,000 loan, and this person that I spoke to knew it, because they gave me the advice on it and was like, yeah, that's what you want to do. And then when it came back, it like didn't happen like that, and I'm like, not really sure what happened there. I'm like still so irritable about it. So I'm like,
You have your
It's
house.
been 2 years, right? No,
It's
just
been
1
like
year.
1 year.
Just 1 year.
maybe I'll feel better in a year.
Yeah. Hopefully.
But
I feel like you'll never feel better about this. I feel like this is something you will carry to your grave.
she will listen to me from now on to go with a local
Yes.
lender.
yes,
Wherever you're
we
buying.
will never go through a non
Without an itemized list.
Yes,
That's what I've learned today.
Yeah, itemized estimate.
Itemized estimate.
Yes.
Go to realtor.com, figure out what's better to do, rent or buy.
Yeah, and find a good agent wherever you're looking. And if anyone needs any help with any of that, I'm happy to connect people to the right people.
All coastal Virginia. We got Allison.
Yeah, Coastal
Yeah.
Virginia, you have me. You don't need to be connected to anybody because
Yes.
I'm right here.
Yes.
Anywhere else?
But yeah, anywhere else, I can help connect you to somebody. I'm part of some really awesome referral groups of like people that get it. Because there are some agents out there that do not get it.
Yeah. And
They are not with the times. They're
Or with that middle spouse like lifestyle over here.
Yeah, they don't know how to use hashtags. Like, let's figure that out. So, yeah, I can connect you to somebody that's awesome in wherever you are, even if it's like across the universe, and find somebody to get you what you need, whether it's a CMA for your place in Charleston. Let's get that bee sold.
And then let's buy here.
Yeah, or connect. You know, it's one of those things that I love running the numbers for people and just telling people, does this make sense for you? And if it doesn't make sense, like, it's cool. Like, I don't
Yeah.
need to sell. Like, okay, I make commission when I close a house. Like, this is how I make money. But I also believe really, really strongly that the more people I help, the more likely I'm gonna get referrals.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like a genuine person and I want to freaking help.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
And this is why we have her on our show.
Yeah.
Because we all love her now.
Yes.
And I love what you guys are doing here. Like, this is such a cool show. And even though I'm not a mill spouse, I'm just gonna like call myself one.
Yes.
She's our
And
honorary member over
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
my husband works on a ship, but he's not a military member. But yeah, what you guys are doing here is really cool.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So definitely reach out to Allison. She is amazing. I can tell you firsthand, like, she went above and beyond. I mean, at one point my husband was like, stop running that girl ragged over there. I was like, she's offering to help. I don't know what else to say.
Well, yeah, and you're like in Massachusetts. Like, I'm not gonna be like, no, you come down here and look at this house.
Yes. So she definitely bent over backwards to help us, and I know I've seen reviews and everything online. She's definitely helped other people, and I just want to be able to spread that. So if anybody in the Hampton Roads area is looking for a house, definitely reach out to Allison. She's wonderful to work with, and she will definitely make sure that you have the good, the bad, and the ugly about the property that you're looking at.
It smells like cat pee.
Yes. Don't do it.
You can
Run.
literally see where the pictures were hanging because they smoke so much.
Yes. She's like, girl. I'm like, we move on. She's like, girl.
this didn't happen when you were buying sight unseen, but it was somebody that you know who bought also sight unseen.
Oh.
And I walked into the house and I was doing a video tour. Sorry, I thought we were ending, but here we go. I'm telling the story. I walked through the house and I open one of the door. I like go through, turn on all the lights, then I start walking through the house. And but I didn't open one of the doors. Like it was like a hidden door. And
It's like a Harry Potter house.
yeah, seriously. Like it was like, whoa, that door came out of nowhere. And so I opened the door and there's a dude sleeping in the room. Like he must have worked like a night shift or something, but like I had a scheduled appointment, confirmed with the agent, like everything. And so I walked out and I was like, I filmed myself and I was like, I thought I was gonna get murdered. So I left the house. Like I was like sweating. I was like, okay, you guys, I thought I was gonna get murdered. If you really want me to go back in, I will. Like,
Oh my God.
I will do lots of things for people, but I will not get murdered. Like, I will not put myself in a place that I can get murdered.
That is wonderful.
And our next Feature Friday is going to be the video.
I mean,
That-
like, don't worry. I hope I deleted it. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Alrighty,
This
before
is
we
why
get
I
into
love her.
crazy more stories going on, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed everything. Allison is a wonderful resource for all of us, and we're so excited that we got to share an episode with her. Be sure to like and comment down below with any questions that you have, and we'll kind of try to answer you or point you in the right direction. Click the subscribe button and the bell so you know when we post our videos. Cool, like Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Check out the description box down below. There'll be lots of goodies there. We love you guys and have a wonderful night. Bye.